Yeah, this game is very scary in general. All right, so I've done that. We're streaming. What do I need to do now? Check to make sure we're streaming. We are. Live splits up. Ready to go. Let's hit start here. All right. So this is the commentated run we're doing.
First time ever.
First time ever. We've never screwed this up. Let's introduce ourselves first. When I call your name, state your role. Elzo.
Hi, I'm Elzo. I'm the wizard.
Hold'em Joe.
Hold'em Joe here. I'm your Valkyrie.
And Preeves.
Hey, it's Breeze. I'm the warrior.
And I am Walking Eye. I will be the elf for the evening. I'm also the coach. So you'll hear me making all sorts of calls during this run about what to do. There's a lot of improvising and such that needs to be done. Let's take a look at these names first. Perfecto, Bebop the Rock, Alfred, and National League designated hitter. All right. We're ready to go here in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. So as we mentioned during introductions, we are playing 4 different characters because we have to if we want to do a 4-player run. And each of the characters is actually different. They're not symmetrical. So they have strengths and weaknesses. First thing you should know, though, is that not all 4 players are necessarily going to be present on every floor. In fact, we'll start with mostly the Elf and the Valkyrie, as those 2 are the fastest characters. The way that the game works is... you have to pick up the next one, sorry.
I got it.
The way that the game works is that whatever the last exit is that's hit by a player is the one that the entire party is sent through, with an exception for a warp wing, but that's okay. And so the slow characters, or the ones that aren't needed for a given floor, will end up going back into the exit that they came in usually. With the fast characters that are needed for that floor going and actually doing the floor. So in this case, we did need to bring the wizard along. The wizard is slow right now, hasn't had a chance to level up or anything. But as the wizard has the highest magic stat, it's really important for them to get those potions. And so we push the potions on the wizard. We're kind of going to go back and forth here in the first castle. Because it's just faster to go back to the start and occasionally buy things. So the thing that we just bought there was a warp wing and a heal drink. Heal drink's just for safety, obviously. It's a health potion. The warp wing will just teleport us back to the start very quickly. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So I released the death. That was that black enemy right there. And it's fine. Not an ideal situation. I meant to clear out that breakable wall just above it so that the death would stay contained while I could still grab the potions. I know I said the wizard's going to grab most of the potions, and he is. But we are going to have the elf grab a couple, just because it's convenient. Really good teleporter RNG there. Because the elf does have the second highest magic stat. Potions are important because they allow you to clear out basically an entire screen of enemies all at once, which is very, very convenient for defeating the hordes of the castle. Pick up another warp wing as I just warped us all back to the start. And we'll go through to the next part. So what we're trying to do here in the Earth Tower, our primary goal is to get to the dragon and go all the way through and fight the dragon, and great. But our secondary goal here is to pick up this item that's right along this floor. You can see that on the right it says slow tile. That's because we're standing on slow tiles, and those make us go slow. Now, we don't want that. And so there's actually an item here called the float ring, which is going to allow us to float above said tiles. And it's also going to let us float above teleporters. So we're going to spend some time here leveling and then equipping our float rings. And then make sure we disable those as we continue on. The menus here are kind of tough because the Genesis multi-tap is not like the greatest in the world. So it has a tendency to drop inputs, especially during the menu and when we're all pressing like the same buttons. But we'll get through it. Oh my god, I got stuck there against those nerds. It's all right, we're through. All right, this floor is called the Monster Mash. It's just our name for it. It is the most difficult floor of the run so far. These are all slow tiles that we're on. And so we want to float ring over them. That's why we just picked up the float ring. But the problem with the float ring is it makes us kind of floaty, for lack of a better word. It makes us kind of, kind of slidey. And so we're apt to fall into those holes that you saw there that looked like the exact same as the stairs. So this floor is a bit of a maze. That's enough height. You can go down. And so we're going through, and the other thing we're doing on each floor is we're hitting these trap tiles. These trap tiles are these glowing tiles, and when we hit those, what's going to happen is it's just going to delete some walls somewhere else on the floor, and that's going to allow us to progress. So the entire time, it's important to hit the trap tiles, get any items we need on our way to fighting the dragon. Keys are another important thing, and this is a good opportunity to explain what keys do. So those little gray walls there that the Valkyrie and the wizard were just walking against, those are the walls. And so we very purposefully haven't had the wizard or the Valkyrie pick up any keys so far in this run, so that they can walk there without releasing those hordes of enemies. And we're going to send the elf here. These are the teleporters, these little red squares. We've hit a couple of them so far. But what you'll find is that when a player steps on one, they are teleported to the teleporter that is closest to the one that they stepped on. And then they're put at a direction next to it. The players do have some control over where they're placed relative to the teleporter they're sent to. But what they do not have control over is which of the teleporters they're sent to, if there are two that are equidistant or more that are equidistant from the one that they stepped on initially. And so a lot of this game is just teleporter RNG. Now, thankfully, because we have 4 players and the camera position is based on the kind of the average of all 4 players' position, we can manipulate the camera in certain cases to only have a single teleporter on screen, because it does have to be on screen, the one it sends you to. But sometimes we don't have that luxury, and sometimes we just have to be at the mercy of RNG. So we'll take some levels. We get experience every single floor as we go through. That experience is based on mostly trap tiles that you hit. Not really on enemies that you kill. You can't just stand there forever and grind experience, so to speak. And plus, we're not really interested in grinding anyway. We're speed running. We want to go as fast as possible. So we're going to do just that. Lots of different types of enemies in this game. You can see the old men. You can see the ogres. There were some pterodactyls back there. I don't know what their real names are.
Those are their real names.
Oh.
All of them are correct.
All right, we've made it to floor 2 here. So we're gonna spend a second to do some leveling. We're not actually allowed to level in the dragon fight, and it's important for us to have some speed. I hope that missed treasure doesn't cost us. That was my fault. And
your health's low.
Yeah, I've got a heal drink, so we'll be okay. And so I'm going to heal up right before this fight, because I need to have the float ring on for this dragon fight. It's very important. So the dragon fight. This is our first dragon fight. We're going to fight 6 dragons total. This one has small wings and is fought in an arena that is full of slow tiles. And so we have those float rings, so we're going to float right over those slow tiles. And then, because it's small wings, what we're going to do is we're going to send the elf behind the dragon, because you can do that if you're fast enough. And then the other 2 here, the wizard and the warrior. The warrior hasn't seen a lot of action yet. Oh, that was a very good fight. Warrior hasn't seen a lot of action fight, but the warrior is obviously our most offensively minded characters, and there's not a lot of moving, so his slowness doesn't really matter here. And so we have him come out. And then the wizard, it's actually important for the wizard to be there for the rewards at the end. So after we defeat the dragon, there's a bunch of potions behind the dragon that we get. And we want the wizard to get those. Partially because it levels up. it gives you a bonus stat, and the bonus stat in this case is extra magic power, which is very helpful for a wizard. But also because, we're leveling again here. Also because any extra potions you get are actually just regular potions that you can use to clear out screens full of enemies. And so the wizard's going to pick those up and use those to great effect later. We're going to spend a second buying stuff at the shop here. And head into the Wind Tower. Wind Tower, definitely the best music in the game. Yeah, Elf is eating all the food lately. It's actually really difficult to get that voice line to show up in quest mode here. The voice lines that people always associate with Gauntlet typically show up a lot more during arcade mode. This game was originally just intended to be an arcade port. But the developer, when I say the developer, I mean like the one guy developing it. Just decided to put in a quest mode, and then at the end they were like, oh, okay, that sounds good. But we don't get the sweet traditional Gauntlet voice lines here. So we are going to bring the wizard with us now. The wizard has a bit more speed after leveling, even though not every character participated on every floor. Everybody got full XP, as long as they're alive, and we're on the floor at some point, I believe. And so the wizard had plenty of XP to get a little bit of extra speed. Nobody's going to be able to catch up to the elf in terms of speed or anything, but that's okay. They get fast enough where we're by the end of it, I think we're all faster than the camera, and so it doesn't quite matter. But to start, it's definitely we want to put our fastest foot forward here. So wizard's going to start coming along, and the wizard's going to start using those potions to help us get through so we don't have to actually deal with these enemies. And potion. Thank you. And just making our way through here. As in the Earth Tower where we had to fight against the slow tiles, what we're going to have to fight against here are called stream tiles. And so these are tiles that just kind of push you in a direction as you sit on them. And we'll have another bad tile for every single. Yeah, good enough. So what we just did there is we did a camera manipulation that led us to skip quite a bit of this floor. We had I don't actually remember who it is that stands over to my right, because it just kind of happens now. These guys are great. To manipulate the camera such that we're putting the wrong teleporter on screen that's actually intended by the game.
What's that skip called, Coach?
That skip is called the Super Mario Super Skip. Can I get a potion? Thank you. And we will see other skips related to camera manipulations and teleporters as we go a bit further in the run. I want to stay on the bottom here so as to avoid these ghosts as long as possible. Nice job. Look at that. You're getting ahead of me. This is great. Love it when the wizard beats me. All right, this next floor is Valk and Wiz Spiral. So we're sending the Valkyrie and the wizard here. The Valkyrie still has a little bit higher melee damage, and this floor is a bit more intense for melee. And so this also helps us save on the elf's health, so we can be a little bit more aggressive with all characters. And there's a couple of potions to pick up, so we'd like to send the wizard to pick up those potions and use some potions and clear everything out. The wizard's inventory is the most important out of everybody's here. We want to make sure that the wizard doesn't get any keys that they don't expect to, so that we can, maximize the potion usage. And we're doing really well so far. This is Valkyrie solo here. Valkyrie's not going to hit that first teleporter. Yeah, no, she never hits that. Again, just to save some health for the elf here. There's a lot of meleeing anyway. And this is where you're going to see the float ring really be used for teleporters. So we're just going to float right over this in order to kind of shortcut our way to the end here. Leveling here, because this is the floor right before the boss, and making sure we have our float rings on. And we are going to go do, this is one of the more complicated floors of the entire run. It's going to involve all three. We're going to need a lot of camera manipulation here in order to get through. Good job. There's kind of 3 different trap tiles that we need to hit inside these diamonds. And so we're just going to make sure that the camera's in the right position. Potion, thank you. All 3 times. The world record run for single player loses like 3 minutes or 2 minutes to this. Elzo, heal drink. And we get to skip that entirely because of our camera manipulation. So another dragon fight here, pretty much the same as the first one, except we have to fight on these stream tiles instead of slow tiles. Unfortunately, our float rings will not work against stream tiles. You're just on stream tiles no matter what. But so we're just kind of all getting pushed around here as the RNG dictates. But other than that, more or less the same. A little bit more difficult just because the dragon's going to get a little bit more health, a little bit more powerful as the characters level up. And we don't get to sit in the same spot because we just get pushed all around. But
Health, watch your health.
still fine. Thank you for that call. Even while players aren't playing here, we still have jobs to do. So in that case, you heard Holden Joe, our Valkyrie, who isn't on field, call out that my health was low. Which is great because then I don't have to look at that. I can just look at the dragon and my positioning to make sure I'm getting as much damage as possible through. We will have the warrior pick up one of these potions. It's an extra bonus stat for him. Just make him a little bit more offensive. Yeah, and that was great. All right, so we're going to level here. Make sure our float rings are equipped again as necessary. We've pretty much finished leveling our primary stat that we want to level, which is speed, basically, for everybody. And now we're going to level our secondary stats, which is kind of different for everybody. And I need to buy silver dagger and a steel arrow. Okay. And we're on to Fire Tower. So Fire Tower, the gimmick in Fire Tower, the kind of the hazard tile for Fire Tower is just a damage tile. So it's just you stand on it and you're just going to take a lot of extra damage. The characters are kind of always taking damage anyway, but it is significantly accelerated here in Fire Tower. So we have to be really quick. Okay, let's just grab that. Really want to avoid those deaths. Not great movement there by me, but we got through it just fine. I do have an invisibility item, which lets me kind of avoid enemies unless they're standing right next to me. That was an awful floor. All right, we got through it, though. All right, we're going to spend some of those keys on the wizard now. Good job. A little early on that. That's okay. So again, just sending the wizard through for use of potions here, which are very important, and use of keys. You got to come down, Elzo, and potion here.
Yep. Oh my goodness. That was my bad.
No, that's all right. This is like, there's a lot of memorization in these floors, right? There's a ton. So we all have our notes open for every floor, even though we've done quite a lot of runs of this at this point. But, doing a 4-player speed run, expecting all 4 players to be at their absolute peak for every single run, is just like, you've all done speed running before. Well, not you guys. But the people I'm talking to, the audience people, like, there are days where you just don't have good runs. And so getting all 4 people, it's really kind of a really fun challenge to get through that. Nice movement there. Excellent. All right. We are cruising through here.
Please.
There you go. It's tough to get stuck on the enemies. You're not actually allowed to move and shoot at the same time, so you kind of have to make a decision. Are you going to melee something down, or are you going to shoot it down? Which is going to be actually faster for you. On this floor, it's kind of funny because I pick up the limited invisibility, and like I kind of mentioned before, it makes it so that the enemies can't see me unless they're right up next to me. In and out really quick here, nerds. There we go. Which is great because the game doesn't have to spend any processing cycles on where the enemies need to move. And so the game runs significantly faster. So we've gotten through most of the difficult parts now with Fire Tower. We're just kind of make our way to the end here. We are going to have one more complicated floor, which is actually quite dangerous for us, but we'll get through it just fine. And here it is, Fire 9. Very difficult floor. We're going to level up a bit and make sure we have heal drinks on. Heal drinks? Elzo, you get your heal drink on?
Yes, I do.
All right, cool. I'm calling out the wizard specifically because the wizards is the one that matters the most. It's like if the Valkyrie doesn't have heal drink on here, it's fine. So a lot of these little teleporters that because we're playing. There you go. Because we're playing with 3 characters on this floor, we're good. See, the elf just kind of skipped a teleporter there, and like that's fine. But like we need to be really careful because you can end up on this map specifically. You can end up in places you're not supposed to be, and that you cannot get back. And so we don't want anybody to get permanently trapped. And so we're going to be a little bit of extra careful as we run back and forth, although we're doing really well so far. And we should be just about home free here. All right. That was awesome. That was a really good Fire 9. And we're on to the dragon fight. So this dragon, unfortunately, has very large wings. And so we're going to set up first and foremost for the Dragon's Kiss, which is just exactly that. We're going to kiss the dragon with our axes and magic bolts right away to get some initial damage on him. We cannot get behind him because of the large wings. And so what we're going to do instead is we're going to set up right there on a pixel-perfect spot. The warrior did an excellent job there. And what happens is while the wizard gets close enough to trigger the dragon's close-range attack, that fire breath, he's far away enough that it doesn't actually do damage. And it's not a huge amount of room that he has there, but and then we're just able to just lay on the damage as much as possible. So that was a really good dragon fight. Nice work. You're both getting potions here. Although, wizard, you're just getting 2. One for the stat and one for your inventory.
Oops.
And great. We're like 30 seconds up, nerds. High-speed boots I need to buy. All right, leveling more. Float rings back on. You are truly amazing fellow. These shopkeepers always have a little bit of a cutscene here. But they do give us free... I need boots. There we go. They do give us free heal drinks and warp wings every time. We don't use warp wings anymore. Oh, I got pushed in. Sorry, just go right back in. Right back in. That's my bad. I was changing the page of my notes. There we go. So right away you'll see the float ring used. So I get over that teleporter and get to the end kind of a little bit faster here. It would take a bit otherwise. There we go. Potion. There it is. Potion. Thank you. And so you can see there's a little bit of a dance going on here where I open up one, and then the wizard opens up one, and then I go on these slip tiles. Slip tiles are exactly what they sound like. They're very similar to stream tiles, but they just kind of exaggerate your movements rather than additionally push you in a different direction. So kind of the same kind of annoying, but yeah, we'll deal with them, no problem. So this is going to be our last regular tower here. After this, we're just going to do we'll have access to the castle after defeating all 4 of these, and then we'll head to the castle and the final area of the game. A little bit of a tricky shot I have to make there. So you can kind of control where you end up on a teleporter. Oh, I missed that health. By holding that direction. There it goes. And I believe everybody's at max speed now. I think we've been at max speed. But, as I mentioned before, you can only level an individual stat about 10 times. And then after that, any further upgrades has to come from, like, equipment or something else. We're going to do the second of our big skips here. This is the supersonic super skip. Just more camera manipulations. Where the Valkyrie is going to help me out and manipulate the camera so that these teleporters are... Go ahead. Otherwise, we have to get sent through all of these different like squares internally here. And it just takes a lot longer. There's a lot more enemies, so we'll lose a lot more health. And just trying to shoot some of these nerds as my health can get kind of low in these situations, but we're good. All right, Solo Lobo here. We'll send the Valkyrie off by themselves. There is some teleporters here that are subject to RNG. We looked in, as far as routing, like sending 2 people here and manipulating the camera, but it ends up just not being worth it. And as you can see there, the Valkyrie just first tried, didn't really need potion right away here. Didn't really need any manipulation. Oh, I forgot. Keep going. Oh, you can't keep going. I have the key. Potion. Thank you. That potion there, I know the screen wasn't full of enemies when I called for that potion, but it did have a death on it. Float over. Yeah, that's good enough. A little bit further down. There it is. We're good. Go back. Beautiful. Yep. No, this is fine. I'm not going to heal. We can stop at that shopkeeper and take a little bit of a save to heal, but I am not going to do that. Valkyrie solo instead to save a little bit of health. There are all sorts of safeties involved in this, right? So running in a marathon is not very dangerous. Even if a character dies, we have ways to recover from it. And characters have certainly died in the past. And right back to where we came from. Wizard solo. This is actually the second wizard solo room. Just because we need those potions to get picked up. But that's okay. So this run's actually going really well. All right, we're going to level here. This is Water 2. This is one of the easier ones right before the dragon. But we're going to send the Valkyrie and the wizard here. And they're just going to kind of go around in counterclockwise from where we started all the way back to the very bottom of the screen. Using potions and clearing out enemies along the way. It was late. Oh, non-existent potion.
It didn't even happen. Sorry.
That's all right. When you get back up to the top, potion now. Yeah, there you go. That was it was absolutely fine. We didn't lose very much time there at all, if any. And right through to the dragon fight. Nice job, nerds. All right, same thing here, except again, a little bit difficult to move around because of these slip tiles. So we're going to set up for the Dragon's Kiss. And then the warrior is going to try to find that pixel spot while the wizard draws aggro. So the wizard hit the dragon last, and so has aggro now. And then, nope, a little bit too close. Oh, almost. There it is. Okay, so it took a minute. I mean, it is a very particular spot. You watch this run and you see the warrior not show up to most floors, right? And you think, oh, the warrior's got the easiest job. He doesn't have to do anything. The warrior has a very, very important job right here, and does so wonderfully. So very good dragon kill there. As we finish our 4th tower castle thing, and we now will have access to the castle, where the final dragons will be. 2 more Elza. Nice work. And leveling. Mostly at this point, we're going to be leveling health. It's just there's a bunch of stats that just kind of don't matter. Like defense doesn't really matter except in very niche circumstances. It doesn't do as much as health. I am buying a silver arrow. And we're through. That was a good shot. There you go, potion. Nice job. And so each of the other 4 castles have had their own hazard tile. In this one, it is the confused tile, which is the most evil one of all. The confused tile makes it so that you just get sent in a different if you ever enter a different direction on your D-pad, you will get sent in that direction or just in a different direction. There's a little bit of nuance to it, but that's effectively what it is. And it is miserable. So generally when we're on those confused tiles, what we want to do is just have a single direction that we push and have that send us to the other side so we're no longer on those confused tiles. So we are... let me hit all those gusts. We also cannot float over them. A little bit of a camera manipulation here. This is also the first floor that really starts us not next to the exit, and so we can't just have... ooh, that was really good. We can't just have the warrior and whoever else is not being used for this floor go right back in the hole. We all have to participate. Here's another floor like that. This is really fun. This is the swapperoo? Switcheroo?
Swapperoo.
Swapperoo. I can never remember which it is, where we're doing pretty big camera manipulations here to make sure everybody gets out. So kind of one at a time, we're going to have to send people out through the exit so that we keep the camera in the correct position. That was absolutely beautiful, nerds. Things are going really well here. Kind of an extended confused tile area. And running over these no-shot tiles. I am going to stop for health. We're gonna play the safe here because we're doing a commentated run. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend a second to heal up and buy another heal drink. And actually, we got really good RNG there, so that did not cost us very much time at all. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can potion. Thank you. Sorry. I should have called for that earlier.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I know, but it's just he's clearly just got one guy to beat. All right, we're going to stop in at the all-night diner here. This is our opportunity to refill the wizard's potions. It is tricky, though, because there's a bunch of keys, and we certainly don't want him to have any keys. One more. That's it. Beautiful. And so wizard has max inventory. We will be using all of those potions for the rest of this run here. Potion and leave, please. This is also where speed becomes very important. The longer you're taking through these floors, the more opportunity there is for more enemies to spawn, which makes it so that you have to take longer, which makes it so more enemies spawn. And it's just, it really compounds itself really, really fast. So I have to watch my health here. I have died on this floor many, many times, and it is never fun. Okay, we got through, though. This next one we call The Wealthy Young Man About Town. And it's just going to be the Valkyrie and the Wizard. Really important to save health here. So you're going to see the Valkyrie quite a bit more. And the Wizard, obviously, to clear out those rooms so efficiently.
Oh, gosh, I didn't.
All right, we're going to have to go back in. We're going to have to go back in.
It's me messing
That's all right. I'll go through. So everybody back in the hole.
You know
Everybody back in that hole?
No,
Okay. Oh, it's open.
it's right there. Yeah.
Oh, confused tiles.
Sorry,
That's
that's
all
my bad.
No, that's all right.
Matt there.
All right, potion and leave. I have the extra potion, so we're good. I have the extra heal drink, so we can afford this. I just gotta watch my health a little, so I know when to use it. I should have made Valkyrie go on this floor. That's okay. That's one of the worst floors there is. It's just, it's so... Ugh. Anyway, we're going to do the really, really big skip of this game here. The Super Mario and Sonic at the Olympics super skip. Potion. Thank you. Where we are skipping an incredible amount here. So what we're doing is, this is the floor right before the dragon. Potion. Potion. Thank you. And as such, there's actually 4 different trap tiles that we need to hit. So we've just hit 3 of them now. Potion and leave. Due to camera manipulations, we are not supposed to get up there. The room's kind of divided into like these 6 sections. Thank you. And getting through and saving that saves about 4 or 5 minutes from the single player run. Like, it's an absolutely absurd amount of time. So we've hit all 4 of those teleporters that we need to. Teleporters. The trap tiles that we need to. And can now just kind of make our way back to the dragon fight. And so there's really just one more floor. This one right here, Castle 8, where we're going to be needing to actually fight things. Oops. Everybody good? Potion? You got one left? There it is.
Yep.
Let's see, we did end up using every single one of those.
There we go.
And we'll have the Valkyrie finish us out here. Awesome. Awesome. One last level. And make sure your heal drinks are equipped. And back in the hole, and the elf is way faster than the camera. And I even have some keys here. All right, final dragon fight.
Or is it?
Or is it? So this dragon is going to be a little bit different. There's these crystals all around the dragon. We're going to have to hit those crystals in order to make the dragon not invulnerable. As long as they're active, he will be invulnerable. There it is. And then other than that, as long as he's vulnerable... I got him.
Okay.
As long as he's vulnerable... I got to heal.
Got him.
Then it'll be just like a normal fight. The rules for hitting the crystals onto the side of him are you have to have had that crystal in your inventory. So you have to have been present for basically killing that tower. So the Valkyrie technically was not present for any of those. The elf was not present for the third and the fourth one, but the wizard and the warrior were there for both. So what we do... Oh, this is a nice dragon fight. So what we do is we have the wizard stand for the third and fourth ones, the elf stand for the first and second ones, and the Valkyrie is just kind of there to manipulate the camera, which is very important. If we have all 4 players shooting at the same time, it's super, super laggy, and so we generally don't want all 4 people shooting. And now we're going to go into the final part of this game. So this is like where we find out there's only one treasure. Only one of us can enter the land of eternal youth here. We're all going to refuse it. And this is kind of where the endings differ. So this is the good ending as opposed to bad ending or true ending. And so we're all going to refuse it. It's actually a trap. If you take the final treasure, you would be trapped as a dragon for all of eternity until you can find somebody else. So we have one more dragon fight here. This is a surprise. We're going to get out of the way. Okay, next up. You had it!
No, I didn't.
Little more.
One more.
Well,
Little more.
he's going to toast my jimmies. Oh, I had it.
You have it. Okay. All right, so the warrior died there. So I think this is not technically a valid run, but that's okay. We kind of all just kind of get in a line and step up if the warrior dies there. There's absolutely no knockback, so it's a little bit more brutal. All right, we beat him. Everybody to the exit. All right, you guys just go straight down, and time is going to be as soon as we exit into the magical room here, which will cause the credits to trigger.
I should have expected.
This is a PB.
That's what would happen. Should have expected it.
That's all right. This was a great run, guys.
The expectation.
38-31.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's Gauntlet 4, 80% quest mode, 4-player, good ending. That's a mouthful. So that was a really good run. That was a really strong run. Obviously, that last dragon fight didn't quite go as planned. We lost a little bit of time there, but we did very good. Lost some time in Earth. I think our Earth tower in our PB is just like very good. But this was awesome. So that's Gauntlet 4. We would love to run at a marathon, and especially a charity marathon. And so I hope you enjoyed the run, and please enjoy the credits. We do have to watch the credits. There's like some stats and stuff at the end that we gotta show. We are doing this right now. This run itself was on emulator. We're playing via Parsec, so we live in various parts of not just the country, but in various parts of North America. And so being able to organize a 4-player speedrun is a monumental task. But we get through it, and this is actually a pretty tough one. So I'm very impressed with these guys, and so thank you nerds for sticking with me here. Yeah. What else is there to say about Gauntlet 4? Oh, we do have the ability to run it on an actual Genesis, assuming all 4 people are on, physically together. I have all of the stuff. I'm looking at it. It's over there. You can't see me pointing, but I'm pointing. I got the multi-tap. I got all the controllers. I got the console and the cart and everything. Someday we'll do an in-person run. Something about the air being poisoned and why we haven't done it so far. But, someday we'll see each other again. Cool. You guys have anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't have any funny little one-liners.
Nothing?
Well,
if we do run at a marathon...
Sakamoto, the composers for this, Iwata and Sakamoto also did the music for Final Fantasy Tactics and I think Final Fantasy 12.
That's true. That is a very good factoid, and that's why the music is so good about this. The music is so good in this game, especially the Wind Tower. Everybody universally agrees in the Gauntlet community. Wind Tower, best track on this game.
Clearly.
What if I told you I like fire better?
You like fire better?
I do. I like it slightly better.
All right, I can respect that opinion. I can respect that. We won't kick you out. We won't have to go finding a new wizard or anything.
I won't be here next week. I'm gone.
I think we're taking it. Yeah, see, like this is the difficult part in scheduling practice. It's just like,
I'll actually be here.
You'll actually be here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was joking.
I was going to give you the week off. We got our commentated run done. So like, yeah, let's take a break now. Like we've been running this for a year with this group, and we had
that long already.
I think about that, and then like another like 2 years before that, just in general in routing, and we had a different wizard. We had 2 different wizards actually. Oh man, look at Perfecto! Killed 2 monsters, died 1 time. Not that Perfecto.
8 minutes exactly.
Time is 8 minutes. Dead odds. That's awesome.
Naming incentives, obviously a big thing for this game. So if you're looking for a game with good incentives, we've raised quite a bit of money. We did another charity marathon with a different wizard, and the naming incentives proved to be quite popular. National League designated hitter. Very excited for that. I'm mostly just making fun of Hold'em Joe here. He's a big Mets fan. Poor guy.
I was saving my comments for a different video.
So that's it. That's Gauntlet 4 for your consideration. Thank you very much. And this should finish momentarily here, and then I'll cut the stream.
Can you edit the game files, remove Tengen from there, and put Walking Eye?
I probably could. All right, that's it. Thank you. Have a good night.